away and running at the fairgrounds. Fort Pike broke swiftly. Fort Pike challenged in the early going here by Mrs. Della, who's looking to move through now for Brienne Culp, and Mrs. Della takes a short lead from sharp starting Fort Pike in the green silks, who's right there for Emmanuel Nieves. As Jose Rodriguez now tips the first favorite, Bet on Bourbon, to the 3 path for her bid going past the half-mile pole and beaten for pace with Erica Murray. Icy Money trails the quartet on a sloppy track here in the Saturday opener. The quarter went past in 22.69 seconds. They round the far turn to 3 furlongs from home. And it's Fort Pike who's taking a short lead in between horses as Bet on Bourbon is now coming with a 3-path push. And here's Bet on Bourbon, who's just swept past Fort Pike and Mrs. Della with the rail. And Icy Money is last. They've strained away past the quarter pole, half mile in 47.88 seconds. At 1 to 5, it's Bet on Bourbon. 1 furlong to go. Bet on Bourbon leads. Fort Pike, who's back into second from Mrs. Della. Icy Money on the far outside. They come past the 16th. It's Bet on Bourbon narrowly. Fort Pike gamely. And here's Icy Money coming right over the top for Erica Murray. Icy Money has won it from Bet on Bourbon. Fort Pike finished third. They're in the gate. And they're off. Hard Kings, Wild T Ranger. Here's between horses, Demon Hunter, who starts a bid and looks to angle over as Wild T Ranger is driven hard to the first turn. It's Wild T Ranger with Demon's Hunter and the Black Silks, and Theo's Flu is 3 wide as they go to the back of the track. And then toward the inside, Seeming Ground is Hard Kings. Outside that is Reynolds Gatsby, now up into 4th. Hard Kings is settled 5th. It's a break of a length and a half then to, in between horses, the gray, Older and Wiser, posted wide. Stone Alliance is running second to last with now 5 furlongs to go from the first line finish, and the trailer Thunder Jam. The first two of 8 furlongs in 24.01 seconds, and Wild T Ranger leads the maiden mile. They have a half mile to go. It's Wild T Ranger tracked by Demon Hunter, saving ground toward the inside, Older and Wiser. Theo's Flu running in 4th. Then Ronald's Gatsby looking to gain from 5th. Stone Alliance is 6th and 5 lengths off these leaders. We trail back then to Hard Kings, who showed speed but has dropped back, and the distant trailer remains Thunder Jam. Half mile in 48.82 through the Gentilly Goo as they come toward the top of the stretch. It's Wild T Ranger with on the outside Demon Hunter now for Emmanuel Nieves as they swing for home. It's Demon Hunter toward the inside, Wild T Ranger, and for Colby Hernandez, a sweep by Older and Wiser. 3/4 in 1 minute 16.08 seconds. Older and Wiser has taken the lead with 1 furlong to go. From Demon Hunter, Wild T Ranger slipped back to 3rd, and then on the outside, Hard Kings with a white cap. They're close to home, Older and Wiser. Older and Wiser was second to none. Hard Kings the place horse, Demon Hunter 3rd, and Wild T Ranger finished 4th, well clear at the first line. They're off. Young Tuscan broke sharp. Real sharp there for Brienne Culp. Young Tuscan went to the front from Gypsy Soulmate. Then on the outside is Lil Rascal Man and joined toward the inside. Looking to gain ground as I tell you the facts is racing a joint 3rd. Here we come to get you running in 5th. And My Heavy Sun trails the sextet here in the slop. As they go past the half-mile pole, advantage Young Tuscan. Young Tuscan takes them to an opening quarter in 22.55 seconds, just over 3 furlongs from home. Young Tuscan leads around the far turn by 3 to Gypsy Soulmate. With on the outside, looking to gain ground is Lil Rascal Man with I Tell You the Facts in 4th. Here we come to get you as 5 lengths off this leader, and My Heavy Sun is last. Young Tuscan spins them in. Went past the quarter pole in 46.64 with Brienne Culp. Young Tuscan continues out in front with 1 more furlong to go. From on the outside, a charging Lil Rascal Man who's trying to reel Young Tuscan in. But now inside the final half furlong, Young Tuscan is finding to the finish. Young Tuscan takes out the State Bred Sprint. Young Tuscan on top. Lil Rascal Man was second, Gypsy Soulmate 3rd, and My Heavy Sun gained 4th. 5.5 furlongs, all set. The Robin sprinting. Yankee 7 broke sharp, along with Sign of War, who now moves up between horses to just lead them as Emerald Forest comes on the outside after Sign of War, who went to the front for Alexander Castillo from the outside. Emerald Forest. Yankee 7 broke sharp now running in third. Coltonator is fourth as they went past the half-mile pole. Call Me Midnight is second to last and beaten for speed. Burnin' Hunk of Love has drifted back to be last. The quarter was 22.58 seconds. Now at the 2.5. And here's Emerald Forest, who's up to take the lead from Sign of War. Coltonator is a closing third as they splash into the stretch. And on the outside, it's Emerald Forest. Toward the rail is Sign of War. Looking to gain ground, Coltonator now takes toward the inside as Emerald Forest drifts. And Yankee 7 is in for the fight too. 1 furlong to go. Emerald Forest out in front of a chasing Coltonator. Yankee 7 on the front outside. Call Me Midnight. They're close to home with Jose Rodriguez. Emerald Forest will be first, and Emerald Forest beats Coltonator home. Yankee 7 third, and Call Me Midnight finish fourth. They're off. Mr. Tin Man springs right into action. Play Mo, Martinized, and Toward the Rail. Scoring Drive. Foolish Dreams End. In the early stages, Guitar Tuition Please has drifted back to last while wide, and they have just over 7 furlongs to run. So with James Graham, Mr. Tin Man takes the top. It's Mr. Tin Man in front of, on the outside, Play Mo, who's gained second, and Toward the Rail. Scoring Drive in third. 3/4 length to Martinized between horses. Guitar Tuition Please in the purple cap looking to make progress with this backstretch run. And Toward the Rail, Foolish Dreams has dropped back to sixth. The opening quarter, 25.10 seconds, and now 5 furlongs from home. It's Mr. Tin Man who dictates things to Play Mo, who's second and close up there for Colby Hernandez. Martinized and Guitar Tuition Please on the extreme outside. Scoring Drive is nestled in Toward the Rail, and Foolish Dreams looks to move up in between that pair. The half mile, 49.68, they turn again. And dropping back was Mr. Tin Man from his early efforts. It's Play Mo. Play Mo leads as they round the far turn. Martinized right there on the outside, poised for Marcelino Pedrosa Jr. Short lead Play Mo from Martinized as they come toward the top of the stretch. Guitar Tuition Please in third. Then Scoring Drive from Foolish Dreams End. Dropping back to last was Mr. Tin Man. They've straightened away after 3/4 in 1 minute 15.25 seconds. Martinized. Play Mo right there toward the inside. And Play Mo is game as he comes. Play Mo battles Martinized. And these two in a tussle past the 16th. Play Mo. More offense from Play Mo with Colby Hernandez. Play Mo. Play Mo denies Martinized. Guitar Tuition Please third, and Scoring Drive finished fourth. Well clear. Play Mo has won it. They're in the gate. And they're off. Toward the inside, Dial to Dame, Ogre's Lion King, and there's Iron Man Ritchie, who heads them off for Jareth Ludbury. Iron Man Ritchie crosses and clears for the run into the first turn from toward the inside, Dial to Dame with Magazine Street, who gets position third on the outside as they round the first turn. Leroy Jenkins has gained fourth. Ogre's Lion King fifth. It's a breakable length and a half then two. On the outside, Ricky Bobby, who's next, the trailer's stockpiler, along with Mo Vodka. The first 2 of 8 furlongs, sloppy track, 24.26 seconds going up the back. And it's Iron Man Ritchie who leads the way here for J-Love. Iron Man Ritchie leads to a half mile from home. From Dial to Dame, kept in there by Magazine Street, racing a joint second. With Ricky Bobby now gaining fourth. Then toward the rail is Leroy Jenkins, being asked to pick up on this off track in fifth as they head toward the far turn. On the far outside, Mo Vodka with stockpiler. Ogre's Lion King has dropped back to last. Half mile for the front runner, Iron Man Ritchie, 48.68 seconds. They round the far turn, it's Iron Man Ritchie. Under pressure, Magazine Street with Ricky Bobby now making 3-path progress with under a quarter of a mile to go. To the inside, Dial to Dame, and then Leroy Jenkins as they swing for the short stretch. 3/4, 114.39 seconds. Ricky Bobby has taken the lead. Ironman Richie, Magazine Street, toward the inside, Dial to Dame, Leroy Jenkins, then Stockpiler. They're inside the final 16th with Emmanuel Nieves. Ricky Bobby leads the way. Ricky Bobby to win it by 3.5 from Magazine Street. Leroy Jenkins finished third. Stockpiler was fourth. They're off. Charlie G. Here's Sailing Solo going out toward the front for Jareth Ludbury. Spanish Kingdom end on the outside is Gentle Soul as they line up for the run into the first turn, where it's the first run since 2021 for Sailing Solo. Sailing Solo has the speed to lead by 3/4 of a length. Sean Parker keeps Spanish Kingdom right there with Sailing Solo as they go to the back of this historic New Orleans track. With Relu Gutierrez, Gentle Soul is gained third, and for Brian Culp with the rail, Charlie G trails the quartet. The opening quarter for Sailing Solo, 23.81 seconds. So it's Sailing Solo with the Catch Me If You Can strategy, leading Spanish Kingdom for the run to the half-mile pole. Sailing Solo, Spanish Kingdom running second by 3. Gentle Soul a length to Charlie G. They have inside a half mile to run. Sailing Solo continues to lead Spanish Kingdom, Gentle Soul, and Charlie G. Half mile in 47.19 seconds. So now they round the far turn. This is 3 furlongs from home. It's Sailing Solo who continues to hold on to a slight advantage as Spanish Kingdom now makes this move to vie for the lead with Sailing Solo, and they're joined by Gentle Soul, who's coming with a sweep now for Relu Gutierrez and Charlie G. Last to make the top of the fairground stretch. They've straightened away. 3/4, 113.13 seconds, and Gentle Soul took the lead with a sweep upon straightening, and Gentle Soul in command in this final furlong, pulling clear from Spanish Kingdom, who continues to dispute second with Sailing Solo. Charlie G is a well-beaten fourth, and it's Gentle Soul in a stroll. Spanish Kingdom was second, Sailing Solo finished third. And they're off. Sweet Chablis broke quick. There's Sweet Chablis going to the front for Relu Gutierrez, headed off by the Godolphin first-time starter. It's Trick Question. And the Royal Blue, who dashed up for David Cohen, takes the front. Trick Question leads them toward the half-mile pole from Bank On It, who's vying for second with Mo Lovin. My Aunt Snooky fourth with the rail. After breaking real sharp, Sweet Chablis is now running in fifth. Then toward the inside is Tease Me Not in the Green Silks, who's looking to gain off of Philly's heels. And the Stone Street Stables newcomer vivaciously trails the Maiden Juvenile Philly Sprint, where the quarter went past. Sloppy track in 22.18 seconds, now inside 3 to go. And it's Trick Question, who leads coming toward the quarter pole from Bank On It. With nearest the inside, My Aunt Snooky, who starts a bid. Tease Me Not sweeping on the far outside. Trick Question at the top of the stretch. It's Trick Question, half mile 46.34, but now they're in the final furlong and a half. Trick Question leads here. My Aunt Snooky, who's charging hard on the outside. Trick Question continues to hold this advantage from My Aunt Snooky, who now levels off, and then Sweet Chablis and vivaciously from the back, but close to home. Trick Question. David Cohen for Mike Stidham. A Godolphin win. Trick Question debuts on top. My Aunt Snooky was second. Sweet Chablis gained third and vivaciously finished fourth with the rail. Late scratch on 10. Remember, Ronald, the 10's a non-runner. Overdue last of the day, and they're off. And a fast start for She's a Beauty Dancer. She's a Beauty Dancer broke like a rocket there for Jareth Ludbury to lead them from Honeysuckle Delight and the Wildcat Blue. Classical Magnolia is close, and they're joined toward the inside by Mrs. Neat Case, and this quartet have made a break for it, going past the half-mile pole from toward the rail. The Calling Stone, who's now running in fifth, or racing 2 clear from on the far outside. The final favorite, Lead Me, and close to the rail, Awfully Charlene. The quarter was 22.27 seconds. They round the far turn to 3 furlongs from home. She's a Beauty Dancer just leads. Relu Gutierrez has Honeysuckle Delight right there as these maiden fillies come toward the top of the stretch. The Calling Stone, Classical Magnolia, Mrs. Neat Case. Lead Me leads 1 past the quarter pole. That's Awfully Charlene, who's last. They've straightened up, half mile in 46.93 seconds. She's a Beauty Dancer, Tenacious, Honeysuckle Delight, a Battler, and these two for the final furlong. Honeysuckle Delight on the outside with those white blinkers. Toward the inside is She's a Beauty Dancer Resolute, Classical Magnolia, and the Calling Stone looks to join on the line. She's a Beauty Dancer, drifting Honeysuckle Delight. She's a Beauty Dancer at the finish. Honeysuckle Delight drifted. She's a Beauty Dancer on the wire. Classical Magnolia, the Calling Stone finished fourth.